The head coach, you'll be spared obviously from watching from the bench. Now you'll sit with the boys,
Yeah.
Maybe also maybe take us through that and also maybe the experience that you've had in the past couple of months.
No, look, I think the course came just at the right time. Obviously, you need that qualification, as you rightly say, to sit on the bench. So important for me to have got that, and also, Wesley Sogo, my assistant, also was on the course. So, yeah, it wasn't easy, especially having to come on 4 different occasions during a FIFA break. So you're away from your team during that period. So there was an element of sort of sacrifice, but I think it was necessary. And it's always good to keep doing courses, keep learning. There's certain things that one forgets that you get reminded on courses like this. But I think the interaction amongst the coaches was also really a good learning curve for me. Just hearing and seeing different sort of coaching methodologies, different ways of coaches, the way they coached. Learning from them as well as the other experienced coaches. So I thought it was well worth doing the course and getting the qualification, and made some good friends during that time at the same time.
Coach, you have been on this journey with your assistant coach for a long time. I remember during the days at Tugs and stuff.
Yes.
How important it is to have somebody, like him.
Yeah.
You move around with him and he's always there. He understands you understand each other. How important is it to have somebody, a right-hand man like that in modern football?
Yeah, I think it's extremely important. I think if you look, worldwide, and that coaches have, assistant coaches that travel and go with them to different clubs. In the case of Wesley, he's grown in stature. He's grown as a coach. So I think that's the most important part, is that he delivers on the field in terms of coaching. He's one of the best tactical sort of minds in the game. He comes from an analysis background. So he's got that feel of the way we need to play, the tactics we need to implement. And it's always good to have somebody that you can speak to on a daily basis, somebody that you trust, and I trust in a lot of things that he does in terms of coaching the team, sort of team tactics. So yeah, it is always good to have those sort of people around you. I think Coach Evangelios Velios also been with me for a number of years. Started coaching at Tux, gave him the opportunity. A little bit our paths sort of parted when I went to Amazulu and that, but then also brought him into Stellenbosch, and the success he's getting. So it helps when you can sit around the table, know each other, you trust each other, and you've got the same sort of ambitions.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting with Coach Weir's coach, because he also comes from an analysis background, and it's interesting how he's just gelled into now.
Yes.
And being there on the bench.
Yeah, I think he's been coaching a lot longer than people know. He was coaching ladies football. He coached the student team whilst he was doing his studies in the residential league. Coached at a decent level in terms of ladies football. So I think the coaching was always something that he wanted to do. But the advantage of having an analysis background, he reads the game well, studies the game well. So he's got a good feel during analysis sessions. Besides the actual video analyst who gives us feedback, he's got a lot of input in that. So he's very knowledgeable and helps the players individually, whether it's individual players or in units. So he's done really well, and proud of what he's achieving.
As I was listening to the CAF head of professional football and talking about the CAF interclub competitions, and you've seen what this can do for other coaches, and I was just imagining what is going through your mind now as you prepare to go to that space, and especially also knowing, getting into the group stages, what can it do for the club? Because Stellenbosch appear to be an ambitious club who will embrace being watched in Europe, even their players.
Yeah, no, we're definitely 100% excited about the journey. Just speaking to Coach Eric and Coach Gavin, who've had experience, got a lot of sort of insight into what to expect. And the one thing that came out for me was, you've actually got to go and enjoy it. Although there will be obstacles and a lot of challenges and frustrations, you can't go there and not expect it's going to be happening. So you just got to show resilience and, just enjoy the ride. And we will give it a full go, and we will do the best that we can, as we always do. So we are going to go there to see if we can firstly qualify for the group stages, and if we can, then obviously then to get to the knockout stages. So yeah, very, very excited. Great for the players, experience different conditions, different type of players, and I think that experience that they'll gain there. I mean, I just saw Jaden Adams in terms of his Bafana AFCON experience, just grew him. Recently, Rayners, after his sort of introduction into the Bafana squad, just playing against those type of opposition, seeing them, it enhances their football, which then ultimately then helps the club.
Coach, do you have enough numbers to really mount a serious challenge, like you're saying, group stages, because the continental football can really stretch you?
No, we're mindful of that. We've done a lot of discussions and planning and strategizing around that. So, we know that the amount of players we had last season wouldn't be sufficient, going into the next season with a new competition. I think I've worked it out. If you have 2 qualifying games, home and away, plus group stages, and you go all the way to the final, I think it's extra 16 matches. So it would definitely stretch us as a club. So we're mindful of that, and we will be having more numbers than what we normally do. But yeah, very strategically in terms of the way we'll do it, and our thinking and our planning.
So you're speaking about Jaden and Ikram performing well. How confident are you in keeping them?
Yeah, look, I think football is football. It happens all around the world where players come in and go. But I believe that as a football club, it's a different situation now than it maybe was a year or 2 years ago, in terms of our competitiveness. Having won a trophy, now participating in Africa. So players want to be at clubs that are successful. So, I believe that we've got into that space where, we are in Africa, where maybe 1 or 2 of the other clubs are not playing this. So I think in terms of that, it does make it more difficult for clubs. I think the value of the players has increased tremendously, having achieved what they have, now selected for Bafana squad. So, even from a sort of market value point of view, I don't think it's going to be easy, for clubs to just come in for them. But, as I say, I never want to predict and say it will not happen. But we want to keep our squad. We want to keep the players that we have. We want to actually add even more depth, more quality to the squad, so that we can remain being competitive. And I don't think you can be competitive over a long period of time if you don't have that ability to retain the core of your strong players. But as I said, we'll see what happens.
Just something that's out of the public eye. Obviously, you've got a good coaching staff, you've got a good squad of players, but not a lot of people know what kind of access you have at the Stellenbosch Academy of Sport, like the type of food, the housing, the development kits, the equipment, everything is world class. I mean, even Olympic athletes come and train there. So how important is that for the development of your players, your youth players and your first team players?
I think right now it's probably our biggest asset in terms of our success, especially at our sort of DDC team. The players come in, they stay on site, so there's a lot of things you can manage when players are on site. Their nutrition is really good, so we can push them hard. We can ensure that physically they're developing, because we know that they're in an environment where they can really work hard and get in the nutritional sort of recovery from that. You can also manage them, see them more often. So, we have morning, we have afternoon sessions, and not only on the field, but we come in the classroom and we develop in terms of player support. So I just think that's a massive, it's almost like it's a project for us as a football club. It's we invest in it, and we know by investing in that, long term, you don't then have to be spending and bringing and costing you money. We've got enough players that will come through the system each and every year because of that facility that we have.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.